Okay, hey everybody, this is Couch Potato 342, and if you follow the channel at all, which I don't know if you do or not, you may have noticed that I have not uploaded videos in a very, very long time, and have not given any updates for a very long time about that problem. So this video was just kind of being made to go over the state of the channel and what's to come. So a while back, I made Let's Plays, not very many, actually quite a few. I could probably count them on one hand, and they were pretty low quality, to say the least. The video quality was really bad. It was blurry, it was sometimes choppy, sometimes the video didn't even fill up the full window of a YouTube video, and the audio wasn't that good either. So between that issue with low quality hardware I was using, because I was trying to keep it as cheap as possible at the time. So between that and the fact that I was using Windows Movie Maker as my main editing software, which is pretty bad, Let's Plays were very hard to make. And my editing software fought me every step of the way. My capture card, which I was using a Dazzle DVC 100 at the time, that fought me every step of the way. I could not record in HD. I had to record in composite, which didn't look good. And the Dazzle just didn't make anything look good anyways. So it was basically the perfect storm for a lot of frustration. I eventually decided to put the channel on hiatus until I could either A, afford better hardware, or B, could just find a way to make the current setup work better. And I wound up going with Route A. I started looking into more hardware, and this is after the channel was put on hiatus. A few months into the hiatus, I decided to start looking into a new capture card, because of the three things I needed to replace, my capture card, my microphone, and my editing software, I figured the capture card should come first. It's the video, it's what you're going to see. Nobody wants to look at a blurry, grainy video, for 15 to 20 minutes every video. It doesn't look good, it doesn't look professional in any way. So I started looking into possible capture cards, and the main one that presented itself as a viable option was the Elgato, which I've heard nothing but good things about. It seems like a great capture card. So I looked into it, and well, that's what I wound up going with. I've actually got it sitting on my desk now. I tested it out a little bit. It looks great. I'll put up a couple pictures to compare it to my old capture card, the Dazzle DVC 100, which isn't even made for Let's Playing. It's made for, I believe it, when I bought it, the instruction manual actually said it's made to plug into your VCR to turn VHS tapes into digital copies. So if that doesn't say anything about its age, I don't know what will. So anyways, here is a picture of the Dazzle DVC 100 running, capturing a video game called the Video Game, which is a game I did a Let's Play of previously, and I plan to revisit eventually. So you can probably see it's pretty grainy, pretty blurry. It's pretty low quality, and it's a little painful to look at for a long amount of time. Okay, so here is the picture that was a screenshot from a Dazzle DVC, or not a Dazzle DVC 100, you saw that, the Elgato. I took a screenshot while just doing a little test recording of that game with the Elgato, and you can see it's a lot clearer, it's a lot nicer, edges are sharp, they're not blurred out, there's no fading, it looks good. So now I have the capture card done, that's replaced it, I love it. The next step was editing software, because it's hard to make a video if you can't really edit it, and nobody wants to watch a raw video that, either goes too long or too short, or, it just doesn't have any variety to it. It's just me monotonously talking. Kind of like this video, actually. Anyways, so the editing software was the next thing to replace, and I decided I wanted to go with Sony Vegas Pro. That seemed like a great software to go with, and it seemed leaps and bounds above Movie Maker. So, I finally got a hold of it. Just, a trial version, testing it out, and I gotta say, I love it. I'm definitely going to look into buying it. It's a great software, and it's much better than the other softwares I've tried, which were Movie Maker and Camtasia, both of which Made me a little sad inside. So, that's 2 out of 3 done. The next thing is replacing microphone. If you can't tell from this video, the microphone still has not been replaced. I'm still using a crappy Rock Band 2 Logitech USB microphone. And I'll be the first to admit that's pretty low budget. So eventually I plan to replace it. I'm still looking into possible microphones to replace it with. I've been recommended the Blue Yeti, I think it's called, or the Snowball or something like that. All of these ranging in price. And they're looking at about $80 to $120. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it more, figure out what I want to go with. The microphone thing is still up in the air, but hey, 2 for 3, that's pretty good. And I've decided that because of the 2 for 3, I've decided that I think it's about time to start making videos again. So, when it comes to future videos, they're going to be Let's Plays, of course. And as far as the games themselves I'm going to be playing, I think I'm going to stick to Xbox Live Arcade indie games. Because that's what I started out with, and they're fun. Honestly, I mean, they're cheap too, which always helps as far as, like, acquiring games to Let's Play. But, in all honesty, those are all I play on my Xbox anymore. Like, my Xbox is only used for indie games. And I know that sounds a little weird considering indie games kind of have a reputation for being very low budget and usually very low quality, but that's part of the charm of them for me. I like finding bad games, and not so much bad games, but I also really like finding those hidden gems, like the Applejack series and the Vidiot game. Oddly enough, I'm surprised that I'm saying that. And games like Death Goat and On a Roll. Those were games that were hidden below piles of just utter crap, but they were worth the look, and they were worth the searching for them. And that's what I find most enjoyable about these games is, you know, you often go in with such low standards that you are more than often not surprised. Now, obviously, you're not going to be surprised by, like, Lawn Mowing Simulator, which is an actual game, but a lot of these games are worth looking at, and I feel like that's what I should stick with, at least for now, because it's fun also sharing them with everyone. Okay, so apart from Xbox Live Arcade indie games, what games do I plan to do? Well, I've given a lot of thought to it, and if I were to pick another system to branch off to, it would probably be, there are a good amount of good games like the Xbox Live Indie Arcade games on the PlayStation 3, under the category PlayStation Minis, I believe they're called. So I'll probably look into that. That would be the next logical step going from that point. But I've also looked into doing some older games, some more Nintendo 64 games, SNES games, even Atari 2600 games, which I have a huge love for that system, if I can manage to figure out how to capture the thing. Because as far as I can tell, it's pretty much impossible to connect that system to any type of capture card. I'd probably have to use an emulator, and I'm not sure what the legality and the rules are regarding that. So that's something I'll have to look into. So as of right now, it's looking like indie games, which I've always done and which I think is what I'm best at and what I enjoy most doing. And I mean, if you don't enjoy playing the games you're Let's Playing, what's the point in playing them? So, all in all, I guess TLDW, is that what it would be? Too long didn't watch? Yeah. So TLDW, I'm coming back to making videos. I'm upgrading my software and hardware. Videos should be coming semi-regularly. I'm not sure how my schedule is going to be, but I'm going to put videos at a priority above everything else. So expect videos. And besides that, I think that's all I have to ramble about. Thank you for letting me take up your time with needless rambling about how my channel's going. Apart from that, all I can say is have a great day.